Karen's scream sliced through the quiet suburb like a siren gone rogue. Marcus, keys in hand, froze mid-step, wondering if his own driveway had just declared war on him. It was a crisp Saturday evening, and Marcus Jackson, a 38-year-old software engineer, had just pulled into his new HOA sleek, modern house he'd bought after years of grinding. He stepped out, savoring the smell of fresh paint and freedom, when Karen Miller, a self-appointed neighborhood watchdog, stormed across his lawn like she owned it. Her phone was already pressed to her ear, her voice shrill as she barked. "There's a suspicious man breaking into a house on Oak Street." Marcus blinked, caught between amusement and dread. This was his house. His name was on the deed. Yet here was Karen, 50, blonde bob quivering, turning his homecoming into a crime scene. Karen's eyes narrowed as she sized him up, her flip-flops slapping the pavement. "You don't belong here," she spat, pointing at the for sale sign she'd misread as an invitation to snoop. She'd been poking around his property all afternoon, peering through windows, even knocking over a flower pot in her zeal to protect the neighborhood. Marcus tried to explain, holding up his keys, but Karen wasn't hearing it. "I'm calling 911, she declared, as if she'd just caught a thief red-handed. The audacity stung. Marcus felt his pulse quicken, a mix of fury and fear. He'd heard stories like this: black men harassed for existing in their own spaces, but living it was a gut punch. The police arrived, lights flashing, drawing neighbors to their porches like moths. Two officers, young and visibly uncomfortable, approached. Karen launched into her tale, embellishing wildly. Marcus was lurking, threatening, probably armed. The officers turned to Marcus, who stood tall, his voice steady but laced with rage. "This is my house. I have the deed, the keys, the mortgage statements. She's the one trespassing." He pointed to the spilled purse, the broken pot, the mailbox now tilted from her careless shove. Karen's face faltered, but she doubled down, insisting the house was vacant, that Marcus was lying. The officers exchanged glances, sensing the truth but bound by protocol. They asked for ID. Marcus complied, his jaw tight. Knowing this wasn't just about a misunderstanding, was about power. The climax hit like a thunderclap. Marcus pulled out his phone, opened his home security app, and played footage from his front door camera. There was Karen, clear as day, rifling through his mailbox, stepping on his flowers, even trying the door handle. The officers' faces hardened. Karen's bravado crumbled, her voice rising to a desperate pitch. "I was just checking. It's my right," she shrieked, but the evidence was undeniable. The neighbors' whispers grew louder, their phones now recording her meltdown. Marcus felt a fleeting satisfaction, but it was tainted by exhaustion. This wasn't a victory, it was survival. The officers turned to Karen, their tone sharp. "Ma'am, you're on private property without permission. You need to leave, or we'll charge you with trespassing." Karen's eyes widened, her world unraveling. She stammered, clutching her phone like a lifeline, but no one was buying her act now. The crowd's murmurs turned to jeers. She'd spent years policing the neighborhood, quick to judge, slow to listen. Now, her own weapon, her righteous indignation, had backfired. One officer handed Marcus his ID back with a quiet, "Sorry for the trouble, sir." Marcus nodded, but the apology felt hollow. Karen slunk away, her purse dragging on the ground, her face a mask of humiliation. The police followed to ensure she left. Marcus stood alone in his driveway, keys still in hand, the weight of the moment settling like dust. He'd won, but at what cost? His new home, his sanctuary, now felt tainted by suspicion. Neighbors who'd watched silently would whisper about this for weeks, some siding with him, others with her. He walked inside, the door clicking shut behind him, and sank into a chair. The house was his, but the fight for belonging was far from over. Karen, meanwhile, sat in her car a block away, scrolling through her phone, already crafting a post to spin the story. She'd call it a misunderstanding, paint herself as the victim. But the video was out there now, shared by a neighbor, racking up views. Her name, her face, her shame immortalized online. She'd wanted control, but all she'd earned was a bitter lesson. You can't police someone's home when you're the one breaking the rules. Marcus looked out his window, the broken flower pot still lying in the driveway. He'd fix it tomorrow. For now, he just wanted to breathe.